We're out here doing some suspension runs. Just getting the camera set up a little bit. Wanted to get some feel of how this bike compares since I messed with my KTM 500 suspension. Move some clickers around. Let's see how that does. So, I already did a couple runs. This is just a rutted out, or a dried up ruts kind of section here. And I'm just going at a moderate pace. At least I feel like it's moderate. I'm not too thrilled about all these people firing guns right on the main road. But let's give it a shot. And this is on the stock Tenere suspension as far as I know. Because I bought this bike used. And I'm debating on what I want to do with the suspension. And I'm debating if I want to do just springs or a drop-in cartridge for the forks, and then kind of same for the rear, because the rear is bottoming out just on this stuff. It is just not set up for me at all. But I'm having trouble finding a good enough source for each option. This poor suspension is struggling with me on it. Feels like it's not really absorbing anything. I'm just kind of falling into these little ruts here and divots. And yeah, when I was messing with my 500, which is on stock suspension as well, I played with the rebound because I was noticing, well, I mean it'll be in the video I'm uploading, but I was noticing that the bike was just moving in and out of my hands on like rocky downhill sections, and I added 2 clicks to the rebound. And it was surprising how much better it felt. And then I added another click, which I'm gonna have to test out more, but it seemed like it was now bouncing into my hands, but it's a lot better. But with this bike, on this kind of section here, it's just falling through the stroke But yeah, like I said, I'm debating on what route I want to go. Because I'm in a bit of a mentally a bind, I guess, where I could spend money on suspension for this bike, get it closer to my 500, and then try to find workarounds for long distance. Or I've kind of been having it in my head, or I kind of want a GS. But we're talking, that thing scares me, just pipes sticking out of the ground, but where it's gonna be at most $3,000 or 30 grand for a GS, and it just doesn't make sense. But since I have the 500, that's taking a lot of my close range stuff for my dirt adventures. And there looks like they're firing guns over there. I don't want to get too close. But since that bike's filling my close range kind of trail riding stuff, which I do take it on the freeway to get where I'm going. I have to ride like an hour to get anywhere. I can push that closer to this bike and either move this bike closer to the 500 or go more touring bike. Mostly because on the 890 I had cruise control, which solved, well, that bike solved kind of the problem of this bike and my 500, to where that bike was super easy to ride, super easy to balance, and then it had that long distance feel. I was more than willing to put up with the lack of wind protection, which I could have pushed more towards the touring aspect. Yeah, at least on this bike, I don't know if springs will feel, I guess, good enough for what I want. I'm not the hardest off-road rider. I mean, the runs I've been doing up and down this road here, probably the quickest I've gone on a rougher part of dirt. Whether that's due to a bit of lack of confidence in the suspension, or just because this is a heavier bike. I don't know. Don't get me wrong though, I do love this bike. When I had my 890, I do not like that. They are firing guns into an open section. I think I can get around all these people and kind of go up behind that mountain. These are very stupid people firing guns into a road, essentially. Not saying that there's a lot of traffic, but it's kind of the main road that you take, which splits off into all these other sections. Back to talking about this bike. The gearing on this thing, at least for the way I ride, is awesome. As I get smacked in the ass by the seat because it bucked a little bit. Let's see. I did this route on the 500, I believe. not too bad. I just don't know what route I want to go overall, and what option would work best for what I'm trying to do. Which I like doing this kind of stuff. I like exploring. Take a dirt road, not quite sure where it goes, and hopefully not end up in too much trouble. Because at least for the time being, I'm taking this bike practically everywhere I took the 500 last time I was out here, which was last weekend. In terms of the GS idea though, I don't know how much of this riding I'll be able to do to where I just explore. I mean, some of that wasn't bad at all. I mean, probably even to get back here wasn't bad. It's just at a slower pace. But when we do trips to like Death Valley or something, my hand was getting pretty sore. It would definitely be hard to get rid of this bike. I do like it. I almost need that 3-bike garage. I know there's a sandy section back there from last time, and then you have this uphill, which I don't think was too hard. Just kind of rocky. Like this bike could be better with some suspension. I just want to see, there's some people in a sedan up here moving some of this junk around. I wasn't sure what they were doing, but like, what the hell, man? This is ridiculous. People are gonna ruin these riding spots. In terms of riding, this is pretty much what I do with this bike. Anywhere that the 500 is just a little bit too far to ride, or I just want some comfort, I take this bike. Pretty much do very similar riding with both the 500 and this bike. Granted, I can go to a little bit more technical spots with the 500 at my skill level, Or this one, I probably wouldn't. And yeah, this one was not too bad actually. I thought it was gonna be harder. I guess this would be the hardest section. Ooh, I need to see if I can go a different way. Shit. They're probably still firing guns that direction because that leads out to that main road. So I should be able to wrap around here. And right now I got the Tusk 2 tracks, both front and rear. No idea what PSI I'm running. It's probably too high for dirt and too low for street at the moment. If I wanted to do that, I should have got more speed. It just looked sketchy. Yeah, stop for a moment because I questioned that hill, and two guys on a CRF 250 got stopped. One kind of newer rider, one more experienced. Just kind of showing him around. Yeah, if I didn't question my speed coming up there, probably would have been fine. But camera's not going to show up, but it was pretty steep. Enough for me to question whether I wanted to do it or not. And since I'm pretty much out here by myself, there's not a whole lot of people riding around. Just so happened that those guys rode by. Again, just trying to ride on the safer side. Front wasn't liking that at all. It's crazy. So much crap. I'm gonna end the video there as I get blasted by dust. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.